Good morning. Chris and I are here at the Glacier Gorge Trailhead, located inside Rocky Mountain National Park. And that big one back there is Thatchtop. And that's what we're going for today. We're gonna take it up the S-Gully. Should be pretty awesome. It's like straight up. Official start time, 6:18. Grab the extinguisher because we're on the fire trail right now. My favorite trail in Rocky Mountain National Park. And that has taken us 40 minutes to get up here to the Lock Mills Trail Split. And from here we're going to stay to the right, take it up about 3/10 of a mile, and that's where we're going to split off and start bushwhacking straight up the side of Thatchtop. And there it is up there, Thatchtop. It's waiting for us. And about 10 minutes past the trail split, here at 9,960 feet, is where we're gonna cross. Hey, this is haggard through here. We're heading up towards this big rock, and then we're gonna take it right along the base of it, all the way up. I think we may have slightly messed up already. I believe I came right up these rocks last time. And that might be a little better than where we're at right now. We need to take it straight up there. This part right here is so steep. I don't know if the camera is really showing it, but it is. I'm going up this thing on my fingertips and toe tips. I just checked the GPS, and this isn't even the steepest part. And there it is. Yeah, we got a bunch of cairns up here. That's looking over at Otis Peak, looking pretty massive. And then the one behind it back there is Flat Top. We're eating up these isobars like they're our breakfast or something. We're plowing right up the side of this thing. I'm saying this is low class 3 right through here. You definitely have to use your hands in spots. Swing around these rocks. It's fun though. They're pretty solid for the most part. We're getting ready to hit the next part of the S-Gully here. I'm the one in the lead, so I'm trying to be extremely careful and not kick any rocks down onto Chris, because this is super duper steep. I think this is the steepest part. I feel like this is gonna get a little better the higher we go.
Yeah, I felt like that's what I was reading.
See, that was smart. Chris read about it. I did not. Yeah, you definitely have to use your hands on this.
This is quite cool.
Yeah, I'm quite enjoying it. All right, we're getting ready to go up these slabs right here. Definitely use my hands on this. And that is how we do it. And that's looking back at where we've come from today. And you can see like the main trail coming around the east side of the glacier knob. The fire trail cuts right up the middle. I think we're getting ready to hit the final section of the S-Gully. I think. I'm not really sure, I can't remember. I think this is the final section. I think once we navigate this part, we'll be up at the trees. Ooh, I just sent some rocks flying. Wow, this is super loose through here. Hold on, let me get on this dirt part. Ooh, got some raspberries. Might have to stop for a little raspberry booster. This hike reminds me of how I like my eggs. Scrambly. Yeah, on this third section, it winds back to the left. It's probably why it's called the S-Gully. Makes sense. All right, it's a little more solid over here. We're getting up this thing. You just gotta take it in little sections. I think right up there is the beginning of the tree section, and that's where it starts flattening out a tiny little bit. It's still uphill, but not like this. We just took another quick little break. We're just enjoying this awesome hike today. Beautiful weather, not much wind at all. Oh, that was almost a bad one. And we just busted through the first little set of trees, and that really wasn't too bad. We're still on the path. We're now in the second set of trees, and it looks like we've got a nice little path that goes through. Yep, I can see the final section up there ahead of us. Just looks like a sea of rocks. All right, guys, and we're getting a look up at the very final section. We're floating along at just under 11,100. This is much better than what we have come up so far, I can tell you that. We just hit 11,300. The summit of Thatchtop is over 12,600. So we've still got a little ways to go. Looking at about another 1,300 vertical feet. We're at just about 11,500. And the bugs are nasty up here on this mountain. Just more of the same. Yeah, we're taking another quick little 2-minute break. Yeah, getting up the side of this thing is just a grind. We've just come up and over 11,700. So I think we're still looking at about 900 more vertical feet up to the summit. And it's already past 9:30. So this is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. We're zigging and zagging our way up this thing, trying to stay on the grass. And so far I think we're doing a pretty good job. Yeah, this thing's getting pretty rocky. Might have to put the poles away again. We just hit 12,000 feet. So we've got a little over 600 left up to the summit in about 3/10 of a mile. I think that might be the final little summit cap right there. Whew. We're about ready to hit 12,200 and the GPS is showing another 2/10 of a mile. And this is looking like the way up. Just gonna follow that little grassy patch on up to the top. This hike is a killer. This is so much harder than I thought it was gonna be. I think we're looking at maybe a 250-foot vertical elevation gain here in the last 1/10 of a mile. Man, this thing is tough. No joke. Embrace the pain. The pain lets you know that you're alive. Let's go. And within 4 hours and 8 minutes, we're up here. Summit of Thatchtop. And that's a hard hike. And we're sitting up here on the summit of Thatchtop. This is awesome. And there's hardly any wind. That's looking down onto Andrews Tarn. And then behind it, it ramps up to Taylor Peak. And then if I spin a little more over to the south here, that's gonna be Powell Peak and McHenry's Peak. And Powell is really not too far from here. It's just separated by some class 4 slabs that we're not gonna be going across. Heck to the no. And if I keep going, we've got Chief's Head Peak. You can see the spearhead sticking up below. Pagoda Mountain and Long's Peak. And then right below it there, that's the Glacier Gorge. That's looking over the edge down to Solitude Lake with the arrowhead behind it. And we've got a register up here. I'm about ready to hit it with a card. Well, guys, it is 11:30 and we've been sitting up here for a little over 1 hour. But it's time to go. It's time to head on back. All right, let's do it. Let's take it on back. Last time I did this hike, I thought it would be easier to descend down to Solitude Lake and then Shelf Lake and go down that way. However, it's not. I think going back down the S-Gully might be a tad bit easier. So we're gonna try it out. It is starting to get dark out here. The weather said it was gonna be all sunny this afternoon. Yeah, right. I feel like we're gonna get rained on here at some point. I don't even care. I don't even care. Yeah, this is already like 10 times easier than going down the south slope. This is mainly grass up here, if you can stay on it. Yeah, it's starting to get a little dark over to the west. And that has me slightly concerned, but not really. No point in worrying about it. We got to get down this thing regardless. So as long as we just keep moving, I think we'll be fine. It just started raining on us, so we need to keep moving. But it's real important where you drop in. And this mountain kind of sucks you over here to the west, but that is not the area to go down. It's actually right over here. Just want to go straight out and over. You really want to cheat it over here in this direction. It's very deceptive. But I have like read horror stories about people coming down like over top the lock and having to swim across the lock to get over to the trail. It's just all kinds of crazy stuff. So you definitely want to make sure that you drop in on the S-Gully. And the key to know that you're heading in the right direction is aim for the sub-knob, which is just to the right of that little unnamed lake, and just aim for the knobs right there and you'll be heading in the right direction. Going down right over there looks so good, and it looks like the way that we came up this thing, but that's not the right way at all. I just checked the GPS again, and it's like we need to keep heading straight over here. Yeah, I would have never thought to do this. This is confusing. We've got this giant black cloud just to our east, and that thing's making all kinds of noise. I'm so glad we're not over there. And then look over here, just a few miles to the north. They're getting hammered up there. And we're almost back in the trees. I think we're going to kind of hook it around and go into the trees right over there. We're exactly where we want to be. Perfect drop in. We just got to get through these trees and then get down those 3 or 4 sections of the S-Gully, and then we'll be back at the trail. And from the trail back to the trailhead isn't very far at all, like less than an hour. Yeah, this is probably the trickiest part, maneuvering through these trees. But so far, we're nailing it. We just want to make sure we drop in on the S-Gully and not on one of those giant cliffs. We made it through the maze of trees, which was a little more challenging than I thought it was going to be. There are a few critical like cutbacks that you need to hit. Luckily, we hit them. And now we're dropping in at the top of the S-Gully. What makes coming down the S-Gully a little more fun? When it rains and makes all the rocks wet. Yeah, this is a hoot right now, let me tell you. Oh, geez. Oh! Well, son of a bitch. Wow. We're good to go, baby. Well, son of a bitch. We're slipping and sliding our way down this thing. This thing is treacherous coming down. Oh my goodness. It's all wet and loose and slick. Whew. We're coming back down through the boulder field and we're getting close. I can see the trail out there in front of us and I cannot wait to be back on it. We're coming down the third and final section of the S-Gully. We're getting real close to being down there. And this is looking down on the very last part. We took a bypass over the water and it seemed to have worked pretty well. We're back on it. We just passed the Lock Mills Junction and all we have left is pretty much going down the fire trail. And we're back. It's just now 2:35, so that has taken us 3 hours and 5 minutes to come down. I think it took us like 4 hours and 8 minutes to get up. That was a tough hike. And that's looking up at Thatchtop. Man, that thing is big. Well, we hope you enjoyed that hike. And until the next one, y'all, peace.